Good morning, Shruti.
Good morning, Sarah.
Thanks for joining us this morning for Market Minutes. So tell us, why are we in the greens?
Well, very interestingly, Greens is one of the communities which saw a decline in the sales price by 4% in the month of May 2022. However, the rental prices is on a rise and is increased at a rate of 2.35% in the month of May 2022.
So that's the greens. What about overall Dubai? How did transactions perform in the month of May?
Well, I would say it's a pleasure to see some stability, some slowing down and cooling off, as we've all witnessed some aggressive price increases in the last couple of months. So I would say the transactions overall are starting to decline both by volume and value. If I bring the data into perspective, the overall residential transaction volume declined by 4.8% in the month of May 2022. However, the total number of transactions was over 6,000 units, which is way more than the average 4,700 monthly transactions of 2021.
So we've all witnessed the growing demand for villas in recent months. Are apartments still showing a difference in terms of the data?
Yes, I mean, I must say that we witnessed some aggressive demand for villas in the last couple of months. I would say apartments are starting to follow that trend, but mainly in the off-plan segment. So in terms of number, the apartment transaction volume saw an increase of 3.8% as compared to the previous month on the back of the off-plan apartment transaction volume, which saw an increase of 13.2%, whereas the ready apartment transaction volume fell by 4.3%.
Okay, great. So I think developers must be doing pretty well. So in the wider market, why do you think things are slowing down?
Yes, I mean, Sarah, there are a number of factors that are contributing to it. So, I mean, we just spoke about that there was an aggressive price increases in the last couple of months that we all witnessed, and it's starting to slow down a bit now. So the buyers and the seller expectations, the gap between that expectation was widening up and buyers were no longer chasing those prices. So we see buyers getting attracted towards more, high-end or low-end properties rather than the mid-range areas. And the mortgage dynamics also has a big part to play.
So on mortgages, how have they actually performed in the previous months?
Yeah, so the mortgage transactions have slightly shown a dip in the transactions, and it is in line with the overall transactions dip. So we see as of now, it's in line with the overall transaction dip.
And how are the banks reacting to this? I keep hearing of fixed rate mortgages becoming more scarce. What else are you hearing?
Yes, I mean, it's really obvious, right? Because the central bank is increasing the IBOR interest rates month on month and consecutively. So it's inevitable that the interest rate will soon be increased by all banks. Maybe fixed rates will be pulled up by the banks and more variable component will be in the market.
So what about the luxury end of the market? I know we've had really bad supply constraints there.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me this question 1 year back, where the demand for luxury segment outstripped the market supply, I would have said yes. But beginning of 2022, we see some launches of luxury projects by developers. And I think the demand will continue to remain because high net worth individuals, the influx of the individuals from Europe, Russia, they would continue to look Dubai as their home and not just from the point of view of returns.
Okay, so that's the sales market. My final question is on the rental market. I'm super excited that we can now see rental data. What's it telling us?
Yes, I mean, there have been 40,000 transactions month on month when it comes to rentals, and we see a 10% increase year to date from rental transactions as compared to last year. And with regards to rental, the apartment rentals are increasing at a much higher rate than the villa rental prices, although the villa rental prices are increasing in high-end areas like Al Barari, Emirates Hills and Palm Jumeirah. When it comes to apartments, we see rentals increasing more in terms of high-end and low-end areas like Discovery Gardens, downtown Dubai, JBR. And year to date, the rental prices have increased about 11.5% for apartments, and year to date, the rental prices for villas have increased for about 10.5%.
Okay, great. Thanks ever so much for the update, Shruti, and I'll see you next month for Market Minutes.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah.